America is the land of bright lights and broken dreams, a place that delights and inspires a hunger for fame. It's also a place that some people find hard to leave, even after death.
My name's Gail Porter and I'm a skeptic.
My name is Chris Fleming and I am a sensitive.
It's my mission to investigate alleged sightings and hauntings of Hollywood ghosts.
A sensitive can detect paranormal events beyond the range of the five senses.
I wouldn't say I'm a non-believer, but I'm definitely a skeptic.
Together, our mission is to investigate the dead famous.
You see it? You see it?
Our investigation to hunt down the spirits of Bonnie and Clyde would lead us on one of the most paranormal trips ever.
Something just grabbed the back of my pants.
There's a man in here that keeps going to keep the hell out of here.
From the eeriness of a Hill County cell block...
What's that?
Oh my God!
...to a location of one of their robberies.
Oh. Careful, Chris. I'm scared now.
Before ending at one of the most haunted hotels we had ever investigated. Would we find Bonnie and Clyde's spirit amongst these Texas haunts and expose their identities to me?
Chris?
To Chris. To the world.
Gail.
The 1930s Midwest America was terrorized by the natural-born bank robbers Bonnie Parker and Clyde Barrow. Amidst a landscape of small-town dust, accompanied by the soundtrack of the rattle of Tommy guns, the fearless duo led a campaign of carnage that would end in the death of 9 police officers. Bonnie and Clyde were hunted down and killed in an ambush in Louisiana in 1934. 167 bullets were pumped into their grey Ford V8 by a posse of men led by former Texas Ranger Frank Hammer. Bonnie was just 24, and Clyde, 25.
Bonnie and Clyde were both born here in Texas. To most people, this is a naturally beautiful part of the American landscape. To Bonnie and Clyde, it was a highway of death and destruction.
Hollywood film and literature have romanticized to an extent that the level and brutality of their crimes was often overlooked. Were they just a couple in love, desperate to survive in depressed and poverty-stricken times? Or were they merely bloodthirsty criminals, willing to gun down anyone that got in their path? And if we do come in contact with their ghosts, will their poisonous union come back to haunt us?
In order to help our investigation, I had arranged to interview John Neal Phillips, a worldwide authority on Bonnie and Clyde. Whilst Chris went to meet Clyde's nephew, Buddy Barrow, at Western Heights Cemetery in Dallas, where Clyde is buried.
How did Bonnie and Clyde's childhood structure them as adults?
I can't really see how anything in Bonnie's childhood would have indicated that she'd wind up, on the wrong end of a gun later on. Now, Clyde had a lot of influence from his older brother, Buck, as far as getting involved in crime. And then pretty soon, Clyde's crimes started becoming greater than his older brother, Buck.
What is it like growing up with the Barrow surname?
Well, you got to understand, the generation before me was real tough. I mean, they couldn't go to school without some teacher saying, well, have they killed that brother of yours yet?
Bonnie and Clyde met at the home of a mutual friend. But by all accounts, it was love at first sight. Clyde was very charismatic. There's a charisma about Clyde that people tell me about that doesn't come across in any photo of him at all. And by all accounts, Bonnie was very charismatic and not beautiful, but pretty and very perky, and I had a really good sense of humor, and they just connected.
He was a very congenial person, very polite. You'd ask him a question, he would say yes sir, no ma'am, whatever it was, and he was raised up in a Christian atmosphere.
Clyde was very bitter because of his prison experience. He was raped in prison, he was mistreated by guards and other convicts. He perpetrated his first murder in prison. He called it that hellhole. I'll not be taken alive. I'm not going back to that hellhole again.
So what drove them to a life of crime?
They worked just like farm children. They got up, went to work on the farm, come in dark. So I think that made them want something different in life. And the way they tried to get it was kind of backfired on them.
We're searching for the spirit of Bonnie and Clyde. Is there anywhere you suggest that we should visit?
Possibly the Hill County Jail. I've heard it's haunted. If it is haunted, it might have something to do with the fact that Raymond Hamilton was held there once. Raymond Hamilton was one of their cohorts. He escaped twice from that jail. One of those escapes was perpetrated by Clyde Barrow himself. So Bonnie and Clyde definitely, their spirit is certainly in the area.
It was our first lead, and I felt that Chris and I should investigate the prison where one of their most violent gang members was holed up for 10 months.
What I'm not sure about is, could Clyde come to somewhere that he associated with other members of his gang, like Raymond?
Well, yeah, sometimes ghosts can haunt, from association. If Clyde and Raymond were really good friends, it's quite possible that we can get Clyde's spirit to show up here.
Really?
Yes.
Located in Hillsborough, the museum was the old county jail from 1893. Prisoners have been kept here up until April 1983, when it became a county museum. I'd arranged for us to meet up with historian Dick McMacken to find out more about its relevance to Bonnie and Clyde. Would we find any evidence of paranormal activity here?
What was Raymond in for?
He was in for the murder of a man named Butcher, who had a store out at the edge of town here. And he and Clyde and one other man robbed the store, and Mr. Butcher was killed in the robbery.
What kind of a man was Raymond?
Today, we would have called him a sociopath.
Okay.
He and Clyde both were. And they were not nice people at all.
One of the original cells is still intact and is an example of where Raymond would have been locked up.
Oh, this is really small. How many people would you have in a cell like this?
Could be 4 in here.
And what was the atmosphere like in the whole jail?
They were locked up with people they were frightened of. There were very few guards. Sometimes there would be only one guard at the jail.
So the prisoners couldn't have got out much during the day, could they?
No, they had an exercise period, probably an hour a day.
Are you picking up anything in here?
Yeah, I picked up a few things when we walked in. Not good things, definitely. I'd like to come back in here, maybe just you and I, or just even by myself, maybe just for a little bit, because I feel kind of uncomfortable in front of Dick and the crew here talking about some of the things that I am picking up.
Okay, we can do that.
Although less isolated than some other jails we'd visited, Chris still felt uncomfortable here and wasn't happy with some of the energy he was picking up.
The thing is, you gotta be careful, because some of the prisoners may have been here. I don't think they were too stable, mentally stable, because what I was picking up in there is they would get very claustrophobic, they would get irritated, get angry, that type of stuff. So there's a lot of place memory that's there. Whether there's any ghosts still here, I don't know. I have to walk around and try to figure that out.
We decided to investigate this place completely alone. To do this, we filmed ourselves, without the crew present.
I'm just gonna close it because I want you to get a feel what it was like being in here. You all right?
I'll just have to be.
It's going to be very important for me to be alone. The reason being is the ghost may get intimidated by a group of people walking around.
Chris? Chris?
Okay, I just heard Gail. Yeah?
If there's someone here in the cell, could you give me a sign of some description? Chris?
What's wrong?
Are you making noises outside?
Well, I'm walking through the museum and I know that the glass in the thing was kind of shaking.
You haven't been in here though?
No. Why?
I just keep hearing noises.
Can you give me just a few more minutes?
What was that noise? Was that you?
No.
What is it? Chris, where have you gone?
Just hang on. Can you move this door? Gail, this door is like really heavy.
Have we been shut in?
No. Wait a minute.
Chris, you're freaking me out.
Wait a minute. This door was open when I was just in here. I didn't even realize that till I came in here. And then I walked out. Come on. The door's closed again.
Chris?
Gail, why don't you come out of there?
Chris, you let me out. The door. Okay.
Come on here. Come on here. It's my turn. Something's going on in here. I want to try to figure out what it is.
I've just come outside for a minute because something is moving that door, and I don't care what Chris thinks.
I wasn't picking anything up. Doesn't make sense to me. Gail? Gail? I'm not picking anything up. Gail, there's nothing in there.
Did you not feel anything?
No, there's nothing in there.
So why was the door moving?
I don't know. I mean, it could have been just, maybe it just moved by itself. I don't feel there's any ghost here, a little bit of place memory, that's it. I didn't feel Clyde, I didn't feel Raymond, I didn't feel any spirits coming up. So maybe it's just your little fear factor going on inside your head because you're in a small little room.
Okay.
By the time Bonnie and Clyde were gunned down on a dirt road in northeastern Louisiana in May 1934, they were the most famous outlaws in the world. However, much of their tragic tale was set in North Texas, where Bonnie and Clyde were just a couple of wild kids from West Dallas.
I'm sure that both of them were immensely attracted to each other. Both of them were fairly short, and so I think his height being a little higher than hers really worked out well, and she was a real cutie.
Our investigation to find Bonnie and Clyde had brought us to their hometown of Dallas. We'd chosen to visit the Old City Park, a place where historic buildings from throughout the state had been lovingly restored, and a place that is rumoured to have paranormal activity. One of those buildings is the Citizens Bank, allegedly a bank that Bonnie and Clyde had robbed. Would we have more luck finding their spirits there?
Now, this bank has been moved from one location to this location, but does that mean that if there is paranormal activity, it will be residing within the fabric of the building?
Well, it depends. There's actually a couple of things that could occur with this building here. Imprints, talk about place memory, is any experience, event, trauma that occurred may still be in the actual vibrations of this foundation. The other thing is ghosts do tend to follow buildings if they, are really fond of it. And so we may have some entities here.
Could this be the energy of Bonnie and Clyde?
All throughout their crime spree in North Texas, this is the kind of bank that they hit. It was located in Justin, Texas. It's a small town northeast of Dallas. And it's certainly rumored that this is one of the banks that Bonnie and Clyde robbed.
Have you had any paranormal activity or strange things occur here?
There's 28 buildings on site, and they're all over 100 years old. Almost all of them have rumors of different things occurring in them. The one that you really should visit, though, is probably the Millermore house. It's probably where you ought to go. That has the most activity.
But would Bonnie and Clyde be there?
Well, it's possible. I mean, you wouldn't want to stay in a bank forever and be in a ghost spirit thing go wherever they want. So we can try and see if they're there.
The Millermore Mansion was constructed by William Brown Miller in 1855. Over the last 30 years, there have been continual stories of a haunting in the house. Many individuals have sensed a female spirit, and activity has seemed to centre on the second floor.
There are two people, there's a woman and a man, and people mention a woman who paces back and forth from the nursery to the bedroom and the nursery to the bedroom. I've always felt her to be...
I'm not kidding. Something just grabbed the back of my pants.
Wasn't me?
Was it me? You okay?
No, I'm okay. I'm just a little startled. Because when you were saying that... I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, but I couldn't ignore it.
This space is where all the activity in the house has always been. She's usually very agitated when there are too many people in the area.
Great.
What are their names?
Emma and Barry.
Well, we don't know if it's Emma and Barry. I mean, it could be two other ghosts. It could even be Bonnie and Clyde. We don't know for sure. So, can we come spend some time here, maybe investigate it?
Certainly.
Darkness fell on Dallas and the Millermore Mansion. Chris was excited about the activity he was sensing and was keen to set up an experiment to get some visual proof. However, as we were setting up the cameras for the investigation, something unexplainable happened before our very eyes.
What's that?
There is an indentation right now in the bed, which was not here moments ago, and right now I'm getting very dizzy as if there's good vibration energy right here.
Freezing cold
and
here.
It's very cold right here. Okay, film this. I'm getting very dizzy right now and definitely...
What is it? It's happening.
Okay, I'm trying to gather my thoughts here. What just occurred, I just noticed because I felt that there was something over and I looked and I saw this indentation here, which wasn't here previously. And standing here, it's a little hard for me to breathe right now, maybe because I'm just excited. But she's even feeling
I feel really cold.
the very coldness.
That's moving.
Yeah, that's...
Why is that moving? Does it like it?
Yeah, we gotta start investigating. Yeah, we've got activity already and we're just getting set up right now. What I'm gonna do is, how I was talking about there's a lot of activity in that room and this room, and they seem to go back and forth. Well, since that's a doorway, I want to set up a camera to watch that very spot. Question is whether or not they want to be seen. Now, Gail, you're going to watch me coming in and out of the room.
Yeah.
All right? And I'm going to put the cameraman in the other room. He's going to stay there. I'm going to go in and out of the rooms. And you're going to let me know if you see anything whiz by or anything come into play. Because I'm going to try to contact something right here. Gail, I'm going to try to contact Emma, the one ghost that Al was talking about. Also, Barry. We'll see if it's them first. If you see anything, just let me know. Emma or Barry? It said that you frequent both of these rooms here. If you can hear me, please come forward. Emma, I'm calling out to you. If this is Emma that occupies this home, come forward. If it is another entity, please come forward.
At the exact time Chris asks if Emma occupies the home, a circular light flashes in front of him at waist height.
If this is Emma that occupies this home, come forward. Okay, right now, Gail, I'm getting chills up and down my spine. Temperature's changing slightly to my left. If this is not Emma and Barry, is this Bonnie and Clyde? Bonnie and Clyde, are you here? I'm not feeling anything right now like I did a few months ago. Nothing.
Chris wasn't sensing a presence anymore. However, he was positive we'd have paranormal visual evidence due to the energy he had picked up. It was a matter of going back to the hotel and analysing the footage we'd caught.
Gail, I stayed up pretty late last night to watch the footage that we got at No More Mansion.
Yeah.
I got good news for you.
Did you get something?
I got two things. All right, the first one I want to show you here. As I'm walking into the room, all right, I start saying, you know, I'm going to try to make some contact. Right when I say that, you'll see an anomaly that starts from behind me and goes downward. What's nice about it is that I actually sense it a second before it appears on film.
Something right here.
See it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's something that
It
we don't...
can't be just a little light from somewhere or a camera light?
No, because this is on a tripod, remember? It wasn't moving. I have another one that, right in the same area, illuminates so bright, it's about as bright as you see the menu right here. But I don't think it's Bonnie and Clyde. It could be the ghosts that were there, either Emma or Barry.
It's very difficult. It's nothing positive for me. But I've managed to get us somewhere that's extremely haunted. Okay. It's probably one of the most haunted locations we've ever visited. It's called the Baker Hotel. Bonnie and Clyde both stayed there, and I think we're more likely to get something to do with Bonnie and Clyde there.
Wouldn't it be great to get them on camera?
Our search for the spirits of Bonnie and Clyde had so far been inconclusive. We'd come into contact with the unexplainable, but were no nearer to finding where the infamous gangster ghosts were residing. I'd heard about the Baker Hotel, a place that was closely linked to Bonnie and Clyde, and is supposedly so haunted that it is said to convince even the hardest skeptic.
The Baker Hotel was built in 1929 and it opened 2 weeks after the stock market crashed. And it was built as a resort, yet a last resort for sick people. Back in 1930s, T.B. Baker lost the hotel to his brother, who was more the crooked side of the family. That's what brought a lot of the prostitution into the hotel, a lot of the gambling, and a lot of the mobsters, such as Bonnie and Clyde, for example.
Located in Mineral Wells, Texas, the Baker Hotel was built at a cost of over $1 million. It has 14 floors, 460 guest rooms, and in its time, a top-of-the-range spa and treatment rooms. Its doors were closed in 1972, and since then, the hotel has been abandoned. Investigators believe that there are over 56 ghosts here, but would Bonnie and Clyde return to the place they love to stay?
Bonnie and Clyde loved it because apparently there's lots of kind of secret escape routes.
Yeah, it looks like it.
But they love doing the jitterbug, and they've got a huge ballroom here, so they love to dance in it.
Look at the size of this place.
Yeah,
it's massive. You got boarded up doors, and you got broken windows. This would be a perfect place for ghosts to hide out.
With so much to explore, we'd called in the help of paranormal investigator Jeff Ossencott.
I think the reason paranormal activity occurs a lot in the Baker Hotel is due to its devastating past. A lot of people died here, and there were a lot of murders. Baker, unless you're a paranormal investigator, is definitely a bad place to be by yourself at night.
Now, Jeff, I'm a skeptic here, and I know that you've had lots and lots of paranormal activity in this hotel, and we're obviously really looking for Bonnie and Clyde. And what kind of things have you had experience here?
Well, honestly, to tell you, when I first started coming here, I was skeptic too. And I can tell you I'm a true believer now. I've felt things. I've smelt smells that couldn't possibly exist in the hotel, like cigar smoke. I have heard noises. I've been touched. I've experienced temperature changes. This is the hotel's dining room. This actually happens to be a room that Bonnie and Clyde ate in while they stayed here. It'd also be a room that is very active paranormally.
What's happened in here?
Probably the strangest thing I've ever seen has happened in here. Against this wall is a mirror. You could see a round sphere, and it was moving. And as we zoomed into it a little closer, you could see what looked like faces coming in and out of it. And the more we watched it, the more things we saw. It looked like things flying in and out. And then, believe it or not, it looked like something was walking out of the mirror. It's very strange, and probably one of the strangest things I've seen here.
According to paranormal reports, the lift in the lobby is haunted by an elevator operator called Douglas Moore.
That's great, isn't it?
Yeah, this is actually the parlor, and then it had a bedroom, and it had an adjoining room. And as you noticed when we came in, the hallway was tiled. So when they did stay here, they would close the doors off at night, and there'd be a lot of gambling and drinking going on in the hallway. And then when they went to sleep in this room over here, they would listen. And if they heard footsteps come down the hallway, they knew that someone was coming back here that shouldn't be. So they'd very quickly head out in the hallway, and there's this hidden staircase in the back that they would take down to the street level to make a quick escape. There's been a few times where we've been up here and listening, and believe it or not, you could hear footsteps go up and down the hallway, and then you would hear that door slam in the back where the stairs were.
Do you think it could have been Bonnie and Clyde?
Could have been what we call a residual of them. It's hard to say, but it very well could have been.
Another paranormal hotspot was the ballroom on the 12th floor.
This dance floor we're on right now is actually where Bonnie and Clyde did the jitterbug.
Oh, is it? Jitterbug, here.
The jitterbugs. And there's a story of a woman back in 1932 that got highly intoxicated during a party and had made bets that she could jump off that balcony there and make it into the swimming pool. So when she jumped, she didn't make it. We looked at this window, and you could see something standing out there.
Really?
And you could see a woman, and you could see a dress, and you could see right through it.
Well, we've definitely got to stay here tonight. I mean, we've got over 400 rooms and 14 floors, Gail. I mean, look at this. There's definitely going to be some ghosts here tonight.
Well, I'm skeptical, remember?
I know you're skeptical.
Well, you know what I always say. Those that are skeptical come in here skeptics, but they go out believing.
Because the location was so extensive, we had called in 2 experienced paranormal investigation groups.
We've been doing investigations and historical tours through the hotel for the last 4 or 5 years, and the place is definitely haunted.
I used to be a tour guide at this hotel, and our group has investigated here maybe 50 times. We found some really convincing evidence here of the paranormal.
There's definitely a possibility that Bonnie and Clyde could be in the hotel. And there have been accounts from various employees that used to work here that have stated that they actually talked to Bonnie and Clyde when they're staying in the hotel.
Equipment-wise, we use electronic voice recorders, digital video cameras, high-8 video cameras, digital and still photography, infrared thermometers, electromagnetic field detectors, dowsing rods, pretty much anything we can modify from any other industry to suit our purpose.
While preparing and testing their equipment, Mystic Ghosts had already caught on camera some strange movements of light. These had been in the hallway behind where they were sitting. And in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen after they had moved. They'd also photographed this strange apparition while sensing energy in the stairwell. These curious floating orbs in the lobby. And these movements of orange lights in the ballroom. As we prepared ourselves for the investigation, I realised just how nervous I'd become. Could this be the night that turned me from skeptic to believer?
Tonight at the Baker Hotel, you're bound to find something. I've never been here and had an inactive night. Let's go.
We're going to go up to what floor?
5th floor.
5th floor. And that's supposed to be pretty active.
Pretty active floor.
Okay.
Meanwhile, we headed for the dining room. The investigators set up their cameras and other equipment facing into the room, a location where they'd experienced activity before. Would we have luck finding Bonnie and Clyde's ghosts?
It's the 5th floor.
Joining Chris was Donna, who, like Chris, is a sensitive and can sense and experience the energies of spirits.
Which way do you want me to go? Take me where you want me to go. Take my hand.
She doesn't have anything anymore.
Well, it's...
She's on your back. Do you feel her arm around you?
Well, I'm feeling as if someone's pushing me.
Okay, there you go.
Donna and Chris both felt that a woman was trying to communicate with them. Neither were quite sure what she wanted or what she was trying to tell them.
I know, she is just messy.
Is this where you wanted to take me? Where to?
Back in the dining room, the cameras were all set up. It was just a matter of waiting.
If there's somebody here, can you step in front of the camera?
Do you see that in the mirror? It's gone now.
See that? See it? Shoot down that room.
What's that?
These energy. See them up top?
What's that?
Look.
Oh my God!
See? And there's no bugs in here.
Oh my God.
Okay, we see you. Can you come towards the cameras?
Both cameras were picking up this activity, which meant that they could not be attributed to an individual camera fault.
We've been getting the same activity on this camera that they've been getting on that camera. The same angle. Yeah, it's amazing.
Please.
Did you see that? Mm-hmm. It almost looks like something is moving across the floor.
Yeah.
Right through here, all over, floating over, and then whatever, gone.
Hello? Can you tell me your name?
Chris and Donna were still picking up confusing messages from the same female energy.
Hey, Donna? Can you see this?
Oh my gosh.
It's as if someone's behind me pushing...
your arms up?
Pulling my arms up.
What does this mean?
Why is she doing this? I mean, feel my back. This is not comfortable.
She's punching you.
She's just playing with me. I think she's lightening up a little bit.
Things were getting even more active in the dining room.
And again, look. And again. They're going towards you.
Yeah, it's...
And we discovered our mysterious streaks of light became more regular and excited with human contact.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, they love dancing. Oh my God.
Brad, keep going.
Just keep dancing.
Here.
Hey, Brad, can you do the jitterbug? Is there any explanation for this other than paranormal? There, wait.
Energy.
Just turn the camera onto Michelle and Brad's going up to join her. I'm going to see if we can find anything up there. I haven't seen anything.
Michelle, do you want
Oh, there one just went right across there.
Yeah.
On the floor.
They asked for Brad to
There's something above your head. No, it flew over on top of Michelle's head and it's gone into that mirror.
The curious thing about this ball of light is that it moves towards and then away from the camera, as if it has a mind of its own. It then travels towards the mirror where Jeff had previously seen apparitions. Just what were we catching on camera?
Oh, boy.
Meanwhile, Chris was having trouble dealing with the high level of energy that he was sensing.
There's some channeling trying to go on here. Do you channel?
Yeah.
I do, but I don't like it, so I'll let you do it. This is not good.
With so many spirits in limbo and wanting to pass to the other side, Chris was afraid he wouldn't have the energy and psychological strength to help them all.
Are you grounded?
Getting ice cold around me. Ice cold. I'm okay, though. Don't worry, I can handle this.
Nonetheless, he felt he had no choice but to channel and help the spirits he could find the light.
One at a time. He's so warm.
There's a man in here that keeps going to keep the hell out of here. He's got an accent. And he's telling him to get out of here.
Careful, Chris. He's taking your energy.
is this child you bring to me? I have known this since I can remember.
Go with her. Go with her. We need to go
Spirit
with her.
guides, take him now. Allow them to cross together. He is too attached, and there's others that won't allow him to go.
Just go. Go, 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 go. Go.
He's gone. I think your aura is putting out that you're kind of weak right now. Because I get very tired feeling.
Hi, Chris. How are you getting on?
I'm doing fine. We just came in contact with a pretty bad guy, and I just channeled briefly and sent him over with his, I don't know if it was his daughter or his niece came for him. But the other ones are kind of at awe right now and are wanting to be sent over, but I'm too weak to send the rest over. I'll touch base with you in a few, okay?
Jeff had captured on camera an orb during Chris's channeling. What was so unique about this one was its positioning.
I've got, looks like, an orb or ectoplasm around Ellison's head. Apparently the whole time that she was back there, she was hearing something in her ears in an accent saying to get the hell out. This is just evidence that there was something there. She was hearing something.
It's this way, isn't it?
My opinions on the paranormal were being severely challenged. I was seeing things I couldn't justify. Brad and I went to investigate Bonnie and Clyde's suite. Would we pick up more activity here? And would Bonnie and Clyde be lurking amongst the shadows?
Right, this is a corridor where you used to hear footsteps.
To monitor electromagnetic frequencies, I was using an EMF detector.
Bonnie? Clyde? Anybody? Is there anybody here?
Oh, yeah, right there. See, look, get that. You see it? You see it?
What's happening?
Well, there is some energy source here, and it's popping, making it go off like that.
I'm scared now.
And again, there's no electricity in this building. And these are dinky little cameras aren't going to cause that to go off like that.
Did you hear that? What was it?
The noise we heard sounded distinctly like scuttling feet.
Did you hear that? Bollocks to this. What is that? Did you hear that again?
Yeah.
Is there someone here?
Did you hear that?
Yeah, what was that?
A creak.
Okay. Yes. Michelle's on the 7th floor. I'm on Bonnie and Clyde's floor, and there's some noises here. Oh my god, it went up a bit. Definitely heard tapping.
I'm kind of scared. I don't know.
Shut up! You are not scared. You're supposed to be looking after me. Oh, great. What was that?
What kind of smells singing?
Singing. Singing.
When listening back in the edit, you can hear the faint sounds of what appears to be music and a party. There was no possibility that a radio could have been on, as there's no electricity in this hotel, and Chris and the other investigators were on the other floors. Was Bonnie and Clyde's love of music, gambling and parties imprinted in the walls? And was this their sign to us that they were still here, happy amongst friends?
How about last night? We finally got something on film from the Baker Hotel.
I know, I must admit, I can't explain what happened last night. I really can't. And then when I was on Bonnie and Clyde's floor, I kept hearing noises and I was freaking myself. It was an amazing night, and something definitely happened, but I don't know what it was.
Wait a minute. What'd you just say?
Something happened last night, I don't know what it was.
Come on, say it again.
Yes,
Say it again.
something happened last night.
One more time.
Something happened last night.
All right, good. That's what I want to hear. And I'm glad to see that you're finally seeing that stuff does exist. But still, I got to get a full-blown apparition for you. We need to find a ghost.
Yes.
Let's go.